Hello everyone and welcome to July. I'm here to bring you your July general readings. I hope you're all having a great summer, and for those of you in the southern hemisphere, a great winter. We just rounded the solstice here, so we're going to bring it in through July. First off, I'm conducting a little bit of a giveaway. I love your guys' comments so much, and I want to keep encouraging the comments to stay alive and to stay inspired as we build this little YouTube channel and the community begins to grow. The number of views was down, which I'm actually quite happy for. That means a lot of people are actually out getting after it and out getting her done. So that's really good to see. But for those of you that are watching, your moon, your sun, and your ascendant signs, leave comments, inspired comments, and I may pick you to receive this Tarot of the Elves tarot just kind of at random. I want you guys to know that I read all of your comments and I try to respond to as many of them as I can. So as well, check the description box down below. There's some new ways to get in touch with me. I'm on Instabook and Facegram and Patreon now, so feel free to get in touch with me if you would like. Please remember that these readings are for entertainment purposes only. Without further ado, let's get into it. I hope you enjoy your readings. Hello, Capricorn. Thank you for being here and joining me in this moment in space and time. I hope you're all comfortable and settled in to receive your July 2017 general reading for Capricorn. We're asking Tarot to help Capricorn out to reveal any stuck energies, any hidden messages, and please reveal any healing messages that Tarot has for Capricorn for this month of July 2017. All right, Capricorn. Oh, yeah, a flipper. Here we go. Knight of Pentacles. All right. Some younger Capricorns checking out this reading, kind of moving through your element. A Knight of Pentacles is kind of asking, what's got you feeling so serious these days? What has got you feeling like you can't move ahead without taking a risk? Kind of potential with the Knight of Pentacles energy out on its own. And some of you are also maybe wondering about what's going on with children at this time as well. It's pretty tough to see into that with that card up by itself, or what it could mean. We'll see if it reappears in the reading. My subscribers know flippers and poppers always just we touch on them lightly and then we shove them back in the deck, and then we'll see Four of Wands energy as well. All right, some of you attending celebrations, weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, and things of that nature in the next couple weeks. The Four of Wands is also saying here, lighten up, have a little fun. Not everything has to be always so super serious all the time, right? We can really just get in the moment and really enjoy it. It's kind of like we don't want to be the sum of our fears. We don't always want to be asking what could go wrong. What do we not want? What do we not want to have happen? We always kind of want to focus on what would we like to make happen? What do we really want to see? And then that's how that sort of, good energy comes about to actually have the things you want appear in your life. If you guys hear a low humming or sound through this reading, I just got a new microphone. I don't think that's it, but my neighbor is just like relentlessly weed whacking his weeds and mowing his lawn and stuff like that, which is really good that he's out there getting after it. But at the same time, it's super warm where I'm at today, so I got all the windows open, got a lot of natural light shining in. Okay, Capricorn, Tarot's finally ready, and thank goodness, because I've blathered on enough. I hope you're all in a position of comfort, joy, warmth, happiness, bliss, abundance. Is my intention that these readings bring you fulfillment and to a place of better understanding. They're not always positive. I don't sugarcoat my readings, but at the same time, my intention is for that of healing and hoping that you leave here feeling better than when you first clicked in. Overall, at the bottom of the deck in the overall energy, we have Page of Swords coming up. Okay, Capricorn, let's take a look at the essential basics of this card. Is there somebody in your environment, a younger air sign, potentially a Libra, a Gemini, or Aquarius, somebody that you're kind of not too sure about at present time, or somebody that maybe you really kind of, even though they're younger and a little bit more not as influential, maybe to the bigger picture, you still kind of mind your P's and Q's around them? Because maybe they have a bit of a big mouth or a little bit of a yapper, or maybe there's somebody that you are sort of teaching or helping along, but maybe they don't have all their social graces, at present time. Or maybe you're putting up with an energy of a child here in a situation who may be just really acting out or being really wanting to exude certain uniqueness and independence, where acceptance and following the flow isn't that big that big a deal for them, but maybe for you in certain situations, you're constantly having to remind them. It's like, no, little Jimmy, you can't wear your Batman costume to Aunt Judy's wedding. Like, you just can't do that kind of thing, right? Or like apply it to your situation, but it's that kind of thing where you kind of almost like having to like make somebody aware that their behavior is somewhat inappropriate at times. And for you, Page of Swords energy, some of you may just be caught up a little bit right now. Maybe you're the center of gossip, or maybe you're participating in certain things regarding somebody where it's just kind of like you want to take a more objective approach rather than, making assumptions at this time. Okay, Page of Swords energy. We'll leave her up there and relate back to her as we get through the chakra cards, the 7 cards we've laid out to see what's going on in the energy centers within our body and within our external environment. Let's begin with the root chakra. We have the Hierophant card reversed. Okay, so again, some of you may be just feeling that it's maybe a little bit tough on the day-to-day to sort of like let your guard down, let your sort of serious defenses down. Some of you may just always are like maybe a little bit guilty of doing too much worrying, and it's not really solving any problems at this time. Hierophant could be saying sometimes you just have to let people make their own mistakes. You just have to let, even though you may see the error in someone else's way, you may not be able to be in a position where you can do anything about that. This card in this position, in this reversal, is just kind of a reminder to Capricorn. It's like, even for the people closest to you, sometimes you really just have to let them live their own life. And, even I'm not accusing you of being this kind of way, but, you can sense those kind of energies where if you're holding certain disdain for, a particular taste that you have that you don't share with other people, and then things could get a little bit out of hand. You don't want to be opposed to too much at this time. The Hierophant is saying here in this reversal situation, do what's best for you. And, sometimes, what is good for the goose is not good for the gander. It doesn't mean that the things that work for you work for everybody else. So there's no need to spend time worrying or second guessing what other people are doing, especially if it doesn't directly affect you. And if it does directly affect you, then the Hierophant is saying you've got to set your expectation or your boundary a little bit more clearer for people. They need to have an understanding of what floats with you and what doesn't cut it with you, or what jives, I guess, so to speak, with the things that they do when you're having shared resources. That includes time, when you're sharing time, and when you're just sort of out in the world. For single Capricorns that are out there, some of you may be finding that certain structures, certain beliefs are no longer serving you at this time. You may be finding that it's kind of like you're wondering why things are presented to you in a way that they are, and then all that you're left with is more questions at the end of the day. This card does carry some confusion when it's like reversed like this, okay? And for some of you in Capricorn, the feeling is that you could just be a lot happier if you didn't like maybe take things so deep, so far inside sometimes. Sometimes surface things just occur and there's like maybe not particular meaning behind everything. It's good to realize significance in the small things, but it's kind of like we have to realize where is the part that we actually stop breaking them down, where we just rise above and we pass on, we pass over it kind of thing, right? With Hierophant up in that. I'm just going to ask for a little clarity. That's an interesting card to see there. Capricorn, I don't even really have any advice or see what could be coming to you on a day-to-day level kind of thing, other than the fact that some of you might just be very inquisitive at this time, and you may actually find yourself out like getting personal readings at this time, or asking other people for direction. Okay, we've got 6 of Cups, so something as well going on in with the past, and we visited this a few times, I believe, in 2017 already, Capricorn, where it's like, where is your sort of religious or faith conditioning been, and where has it led you? And is there certain division among family in regards to maybe some are like avid evangelicals or like avid churchgoers, and there are certain members of your family who are just like maybe even a little bit atheist or agnostic, and it's kind of like maybe you've been the peacekeeper here, or maybe you've seen certain situations where people have gotten butthurt or bummed out or upset that, certain people don't see things the same way as the other one, right? And with Six of Cups up here, we had, what was that, Four of Wands that popped out, and that Knight of Pentacles that comes out. So we're looking at children. Some of you may have children that are getting married, and you're kind of maybe having to be a little bit more reserved more reserved than you would like, maybe when it comes to the planning. Maybe some of you are just being asked to sort of step back into a more of an observant role, where it's like you really wish you could get in there, you really want to share this happiness, but you're kind of having to like pick your battles, and you don't want to be too forthcoming and things of that nature. I see could be up for some of you. All right, so let's just make sure that we are seeing things from a point of like the omnipresent, the omniscient storyteller point of view, where it's like you guys are very aware of everything that's going on, but like this is the time more so to be that watcher, to be the one that's observing, rather than to be in there maybe butting heads with other people who are like, this is my task, this is my moment, this is my day. They're very possessive over things, and they're really maybe wanting to push you out or push you away, and like you have that choice where it's like, I'm either going to push back, or I'm going to go tell somebody else about this, how unfair this is toward me, or you can just take a deep breath and say, all right, I'm just, for sake of peace, I'm going to let this person have this, right? Because, I mean, we're all about sort of taking our power, making sure people aren't stepping on our toes. But sometimes we definitely just have to watch other people in their own folly, right? And make sure that we don't get dragged down with it. All right. Sacral area, King of Wands. Okay, this is interesting. So, managing our creative endeavors. Okay, and this is time management, I feel, for a lot of you too. What do you have going on that's almost been like a little bit too much of your plate? You've done an effective job of like balancing and managing what it is that brings you happiness versus the other things in life that you have to do out of responsibility. The King of Wands, when we internalize this card, is just a strong sense that it's going to be okay, or that everything's under control. It's kind of like you've reached a sense of mastery with what it is you're passionate about. It's kind of this boils over to relationships too. If you're together with a fire sign, be it an Aries, a Sagittarius, or a Leo, you could find that this is a very harmonious time for lovemaking, or for understanding each other's wants and needs, and how they are dynamic, how they can have the tendency to change and grow with time, right? These long-lasting, successful relationships are based on this communication and this understanding that, what we want sometimes changes, and we're not really ready to admit it, or the fact that when we are together, we have this responsibility to manage ourselves on behalf of the other person. And hopefully this fire sign in your life is doing that for you as well. It shows that there's harmony up here, and it shows that this could be a very very fruitful time for lovemaking and for enjoying one another's company. For some of you, this could be like little getaways to a cabin, or to a hotel, or somewhere that you just want to like sort of get away with your special someone and leave all of the rhetoric and the hustle and bustle behind, kind of thing. So that's nice energy to see here in this King of Wands, right? For some of you, you have to make sure that you're setting people in their place if they're coming in and observing your creative endeavors, and then they're saying, well, you should do it that way, or that will never work, or why don't you try doing that way. This card is also say be very discerning of people's advice over your own personal endeavors. Okay? King of Wands, sacral. Okay. Capricorn, look at this Tower reversal up in your intuitive center. What is this all about? So this comes back to some security and comfort issues that you may be experiencing at this time. Some of you, we're going to be looking at like establishing maybe even a second home. Some of you might be involved in some real estate endeavors at this time. And some of you may be involved with the purchase of land, actually. And some of you as well may be doing your best to sort of brainstorm ideas or intuitive thoughts that have come about, and you're kind of evaluating and judging their feasibility at this time. With this Tower card reversed in intuition, what a crazy position to see this card in, because it's like this could be a huge multitude of things for everybody listening. But there's permanence here. There is a foothold to be had. It's almost like this is a particularly good time to take any pauses in your life, discern and manage and evaluate the things going on around you. If the people involved or the situation itself seems very flighty, very airy, very like it's only in the moment, this is like showing that Capricorn is probably looking for something more long term, more of a commitment, more of a of like, okay, foundations are set or bases are covered, or yes, somebody would invest in this. It's not like some harebrained scheme or fad or trend or something that's going to be gone in a couple of weeks. You guys are actually evaluating, all right, does this have permanence? Does this have the staying power of whatever it means? And I can't even contemplate, I can't even comment on what this could be for many of you. I see land, I see real estate for some of you, but for others, I see product like widgets, gadgets. What is a fidget spinner, right? How long is fidget spinner going to be around? Sorry, but I just had to throw my 2 cents in. But at the same time, it's like you're kind of being very careful as to where you're putting yourself, your energy, your investments, your money at this time. So maybe this worry is not as unjustified as I thought it may be. Some of you do have cause for concern to make the next step forward, to take the next step. Now, children getting married, children, wondering, maybe there are certain children that are having trouble deciding between like mom and dad, if there was like a broken home from the past, right? Where, now maybe like, little Susie or little Jimmy is deciding, well, okay, well, maybe I want to go and live with dad for a little while. And then they go live with dad for, 6 weeks or a month and a half or a half a year. And then they don't like the way dad cooks eggs or something. They're like, oh, I want to go back and I want to live with mom now for, another little while. And then mom gives them trouble for, maybe hiding a little reefer under the bed. And they're like, I want to go back and live with dad. And then, it's like this constant shifting, things of that nature going on, which is, we saw that Knight of Pentacles as a flipper, as a popper, could have pertained to this as well. This sort of this moving about of homes or like changing of locations, right? But it's not kind of scary. It's not like there isn't like huge risk of like losing everything as it would be. Is it like if this tower was straight up, I would like be like more so inclined to be like, make sure your mortgage payments are on time. Make sure everything's going, you don't want anybody foreclosing on your stuff, on your stick. But with this, it's kind of like, this stuff is being met, but it's almost like somebody isn't recognizing the permanence that's there, and they're more worried, and they're like just not adding any days to their life through all this worry. There's gonna be this relaxation, this ability to just sort of like kind of have fun and laugh at the things that we don't have the ability to change, and just take that cheer to the next level, so to speak, rather because you have the power to choose how happy you are in any given moment, any given day. All right, leave it at that. Let's move on to the heart area, heart chakra. We've got the 9 of Wands up. Okay, so for a lot of you, Capricorn, it's kind of like milling about. It's kind of like your understanding of, okay, now certain things are in your environment that you have an opportunity to choose. You have an opportunity to make a decision to end a cycle here with this card, I feel. This could be with a person, or this could be with certain life's tasks, life's work that has culminated or is almost at the point where it is going to culminate, and you are aware of it, and now there is a larger decision that needs to be made. And it looks like 9 of Wands is showing that it's asking you to do a little bit of pre-planning. It's asking you to decide for yourself what's important to you, what's worth fighting for anymore, and what is not worth fighting for. And this is something you're going to be checking in with your heart. Your mind can't give you the answer for this one, because 9 of Wands is saying it's like the things that are important to you are going to touch you on a much deeper level than like, oh, I can make a dime from that, or oh, that's something I've always been responsible for, so I'm just going to go ahead and continue to do that. This is like going deeper. This is diving deeper for things and searching out your heart for saying, all right, maybe some of you are a little bit sad, like, you've raised your kids for 18 to 20 years and you set them free. Now your empty nester is gone and you're like, well, what the hell do I have to fight for now? What am I going to do with this time? And for this 9 of Wands, I'm saying maybe the heart for a lot of you is just asking, like, let's relax. Let's take that notion in that, we've got a little bit more to distance or fight ahead of us, but let's start to gear down. Let's start to actually just relax on this a little bit, and you know, like I mentioned earlier, be able to look at things without that level of like dire straits or seriousness when it's not really called for, okay? Sorry, Capricorn. If I've been saying Sagittarius, maybe there's some crossover. I hope I've been saying Capricorn all the time. I'm seeing Sagittarius, though, with this King of Wands and this Nine of Wands that's up. So we had some earth signs, we have some air signs, and I do get a sense of Sagittarius in your environment for some reason, for some of you in the heart here with this Nine of Wands. All right, Cap, let's just ask for a little clarity. Why is Nine of Wands here in the heart of heart for Capricorn? That's my fingers. I try to keep light fingers so the universe can like have tarot like pop the right card out at the right time. But sometimes it's just like I don't know. I just fumble. I fumble and I drop all the cards when I try to like hold them a particular way, because I like to like be more of the conduit so that, you know, the universe and source can like throw the tarot around, move the tarot the way it needs to be. But it's kind of a very subtle touch. So I apologize all the times you guys have checked out these readings and I've, you know, been dropping shit everywhere. I just, right? Why so serious? Just laugh it off, right? Just laugh, because it's the way it goes sometimes. All right, Ten of Swords. All right, some of you are definitely entering into a new phase of life where you're like, wow, all of these responsibilities that were on my shoulders, all of this weight that I've been carrying, all of this work I have been doing to perfect things, to make things right, for the benefit of myself and for others, is going to be coming to a close for some of you. This is like new doors opening for a lot of people, where it's like you actually now have the time to step back, reflect for a moment, laugh at, like, kind of like enjoy what you have done so far, but realize, like, do that quick look over your shoulder to see, all right, look at the vast amounts of journeying. Look at all the space behind this lady. Look at all the space behind this lady. And look at all the cloudy journey and the uncertain path for this lady that's going on here. That there is like uncharted waters. There is a new journey. What is it? An unexpected journey. I think that's what they called it when they went off to go find the hobbits or whatever. Okay, so when we're looking at this in your heart of heart, maybe it's time to assess or to research what it is that you want to do now with free time, so we don't fall into any like sort of boredoms, or any like if you're at the point of retirement where it's like you don't know what to do, you don't want sort of every day, you know, you wake up, you go for coffee, maybe you know, you play a game of cards, or you come back, you have a nap, you cook supper, you know, you go to sleep at night. Some of you are desiring that new hobby, that new sport, that new vocation, whatever it is that is new, that is asking you to like kind of come sail away with it. Come and drop your burdens, drop your expectations, drop your seriousness, and come somewhere new and enjoy something that, you know, you may have even once thought it to be frivolous or like silly at one point in time, and now it's like you may be just swallowing your pride to actually go out there and get it done. That's commenting pretty highly on Nine of Wands up in the heart energy. Again, what I'm seeing here for Capricorn is there's very many different circumstances for all of you, and these are honing in a very general way through actually a lot of court cards, and like these two energies up here, it's like this is asking you to have faith in your situation, to let go, not take it as serious. All right, by beating a dead horse to glue. So let's keep going. We've got Judgment up, reverse, and communication. So once again, you may find somebody is coming to you and asking you perhaps for a little bit of help, or maybe is asking you for a bit of forgiveness in a given situation. And this is going to be up to you. Your verbal and your nonverbal actions are your sort of your commitment to your level of forgiveness that you have in a situation. I feel for some of you how you communicated it, right? Maybe somebody was set to do a whole bunch of things for you that you maybe paid for, like in terms of like a contract or something. Maybe they just didn't do a good enough job, or they didn't do it the way that you wanted to, right? And your expectation was let a little bit down. So this Judgment reverse card is saying that there may be certain situations for Capricorns where if you can't accept what has been done, or the completed project, you're going to need to fight, almost like tell somebody's manager or somebody's like the Better Business Bureau, like that this was unacceptable, or that this didn't go down the way that I was promised, things of that nature. Because we see it here in this intuitive side of the tower, right? Some of you may have signed up for something and then they just didn't deliver in terms of the quality or the commitment that they originally had, and now you have to like maybe report somebody or have that call back, right? Could be anything. It could be like repairs on a roof or landscaping, or maybe repairs on an automobile or something like that nature, where you're just like, that was not worth $200 or $300, or that was not worth my time to go and do that. The experience just was not delivered the way they said it would be, right? And that sort of thing. So, and you've got to communicate to it. It's like nobody wants to be in that position where they're out their efforts, their energies, their time and money, and settling for something then less than what was promised to them, right? And with this Judgment card, it's just saying that you're going to have to speak to that, right? And as well, if this is somebody that has done this, like that's not maybe like an external business, but maybe again, this comes back to older children, where it's like there was this level of disappointment or not meeting expectation or things of that nature. These are like hard conversations that are going to need to occur to be like, you know what, well, if you're not willing to abide by the rules of this particular home, maybe it is time that, you branched out or you found your own way, kind of thing, because, I'm absolutely depleted in fighting for you every lock, stock, and barrel, nickel, dime, and quarter to give you the best life I can give you. If all you're going to do is go and throw it all away on something, or just pine it all away on things that are not setting you up for future success. Okay, Judgment reversed in communication. Some tough conversations coming, Capricorn, for some of you, I feel. Okay, these cards they're tumultuous, but it's like you're managing everything very well. This is the powerhouse right now, this King of Wands and the Sacral. You guys are going to be solving these problems. It's like problems are coming your way, but you guys are kind of like the solvers. You're the mainframe computer. You're just like, problems are coming in and you're kicking them out, and everyone's kind of walking away happy, but we want to make sure that you're happy too, right, Capricorn? Because look, up here in spirit, all right, it's 5 Pentacles. Maybe you're not feeling appreciated for the work that you've been doing. You're not feeling appreciated for being that problem solver, for being that rock for other people to come to and when they need that help. All right, 5 of Pentacles in this third eye position could mean that there is this strong desire for more, that you have maybe need to set some new goals. You maybe need to find a new direction, to feel that you're not in a mentality of lack, or that all has been for naught, in regards like maybe you've been on the planet for 50 years and you're feeling like, oh my goodness, when you look around and people are driving Beamers and Benzes and Audi R8s and you're just like still cruising around in your Honda Civic. Maybe sometimes that's got you feeling like a little bit like of regret, like, oh man, well maybe if I didn't raise 3 kids due to some joking any, right? Or like maybe hopefully you're not looking at anything in regret, and if you are, it's kind of like there are certain acceptances, Capricorn, I feel that you need to embody and that you need to bring down into your grounding. This Hierophant reverse is not overly a grounded card, and it's kind of like, almost is a feeling like you are kind of susceptible to like guilt and regret, taking you away from a position or a place of happiness in your heart and your mind. So I really hope that whatever stage you're at in your life, that you can really feel this gratitude coming back in. You can really feel this fact that like kind of every molecule is in its place. Every moment is right, and you are where you're supposed to be. You're still breathing, you're still drinking clean water, eating good food, and you're alive for a reason. So maybe what we have to do is not worry so much about our status, our position, the seriousness of, our place in the world, where we can just laugh and say, well, our higher selves and our spirit guides are really pleased with the fact that you are a very giving and harmonious being, and that it doesn't always have to be about kind of being on top or being at the center. We can just kind of fall away. We can just kind of like hold our heads back and just kind of take a deep breath and laugh things off a little bit from time to time. Okay, 5 Pentacles. Capricorn. So A lot of problem solving here, and I want to make sure that you guys are not entering into thought patterns that are bringing yourself down. We don't have really much up here for swords other than this page of swords, so maybe some of you are good at catching yourself, but you know, the feeling is that this is not a very grounded time for you, Capricorn, and it may be due to the fact that you're just like beating yourself up over shit. Okay? All right. Now we've got Knight of Wands up here coming in from Source. All right? That's a good indication to see, because that builds on this powerhouse here with the King of Wands, right? And this Nine of Wands. We are definitely selecting a new passion here. We are definitely like giving up 3 mediocre things to follow one amazing thing, is the energy I see with this Knight of Wands. And this is fast moving. This is almost like somebody giving you an idea or an opportunity and you like really capitalizing on it. You really seeing the full potential in making the most of time and resources out of something, where it's like, this is almost kind of like Piscean, like entrepreneurial type things, where it's like you're going to take it and you're going to run with it. You're going to go with it, whatever it might be. And you know, you're going to find that your schedule and your proverbial shot clock is changing, where it's like, you know, you're going to have less time to deal with your ex and your kids and your old boss and, you know, this, that, and the other person. And it's like more and more of your day is going to be spent maybe like creating or traveling or following that passion, or going out into these new circles, doing this research that really has you feeling enlightened and jovial and things of that nature. It's good to see the Knight of Wands up there coming in from Crown. It just means that Source is about to show you something that is going to leave you feeling uplifted, because you guys have been in the grind. You have been solving these problems, and Source recognizes when your energy is depleted. It realizes when you've been in enough of a dogfight, even with yourself sometimes, to feel good about yourself. And so look for these experiences, these opportunities, and these messages that are coming through, where it's like something brand new, like we saw in the heart, where this is like this passion, right? This something it's going to be different for each one of you, right? Somebody's going to realize, like, I was holding on too tightly to this idea that this always had to be that way, when really I've forgotten about the fact that I once turned away from this because I thought it was silly. But look at all the other people that have been successful in doing these other things, right? And then this sort of person is really saying, like, all that I have maybe belongs to, you know, my youngsters, or I'm ready to give it all up to the benefit of another so that I can free my time up to go and do something. Even though it seems uncertain right now, it's just like, I'm ready to drop it and go. And this one here with like the Phoenix rising, and it's just like, maybe some of you do, you just want to get that jailbird mentality where you're like opening up the cage and you're flying away, and maybe you're going to see the Great Wall, you're going to see the Grand Canyon, and nobody ever thought that you know, would like leave your little address on your little Happy Crescent home to like go and do that kind of thing. All right, so like I said, I could sit here till the cows come home and contemplate on all the different stuff that this can mean to you guys. But what I'm saying is like, it's going to come. Your passion is going to be ignited. There's transformation that's going to be sparked, and it's going to set you ablaze. And you're going to be finding yourself letting go of all of these things that kind of let you feel like sort of downtrodden or upset at this time. Okay? Now, capstone message from the Wisdom of the Oracle cards. You guys have pulled number 4, Higher Power. Oh, I'll just bring that a little closer. So I hope you can see that. We've got Angel here, and the third eye is open. It looks like there's a key or something there, and the crown is definitely starting to open up there. So if we want to look and interpret that, right, in the third eye we have the 5 Pentacles. So what's the keyhole? You know, is there a turnkey project where maybe you're like feeling like lack mentality is not all it's cracked up to be. We don't always have to be struggling for more, right? And then as the crown opens up, there is more there, but we don't always see the nature of. We're going to be looking at it in a brand new way, where it's like, who cares if it makes money? Who cares if there's support from our loved ones behind it? We're just going to go for it. We're just going to do it, right? And that's Higher Power number 4. I'm going to read the messages from the guide for this card because it's a very beautiful card. Conscious contact with a higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, committing to a partnership with spirit. This card reminds you that you are more than a person trying to get ahead and make things happen for yourself and others. You have an immortal soul and are gifted with a human life through which a higher power can express itself. At this time, you need to be conscious of your connection to Spirit and foster it through prayer and meditation. Ask, what is the highest good for all, and how can I serve it? Then get out of your own way and trust that there is a plan for your life more wondrous than you can ever know. You are always protected and divinely directed, okay? And I should have probably saw into that a little bit more with this Hierophant reverse, right? It's kind of like, is there a little bit of selfishness that has been blocking crown chakra, that has been blocking the blessings in your life just due to the fact that you might have been a little bit blinded from the grindstone, so to speak? The Nine of Wands in a traditional deck, there's a blindfold that's half off of the person in the Nine of Wands, so that they are actually able to see the difference between the lower vibration of getting ahead, getting things done, service of self, and then this higher vibration, this higher frequency of letting it all go and being in very much an acceptance to giving back, seeing the blessings in things that others are the people around them, okay? So I'm glad this card came out. It definitely capstones something that I missed upon from the very start of this reading, but it did as well reinforce a lot of the things we talked about. So Capricorn, I'm really happy to read your cards as always. Love you lots, and we'll see you next time.